Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 10 American cruiser, Des Moines, on the map Sleeping Giant. This is a user replay, Halicon. I believe that's Halicon. His Y and his CN is at a different location than what I would expect. You know how it goes. Internet linguist, you targeted a certain name, it came out differently. I'm just going to assume it's pronounced the way it's spelled, Halicon. And he has told me, he or she has told me that this game is interesting. Even in the email, he's like, I don't want to ruin it. Just watch it. And it should be entertaining. So, Halicon in his Des Moines sets up in a very Des Moines-y sort of way. He's on the corner of an island, and he's facing forward towards the enemy Fletcher, initially having AP loaded because he wants to ambush a target. AP, not the ideal ammo choice against the Fletcher, so, of course, switches right to HE, and he's doing massive damage whenever his shell hits the target. He does have radar, and he could use it. However, it looks like the Fletcher's just overextended out in the open. But he is showing his side, so I would expect torpedoes from the enemy any second now, and, of course, his fire doesn't tick off. Actually, he never set the guy on fire. Friendly Shima is the one to set the target on fire and ultimately kill him. But it denies them B point. Enemy team is clearly going a C-B strategy. At least that's what they were trying to do. There is a hairy wind over by A point, last seen. And yep, here are the torpedoes. The inevitable torpedoes that a broadside DD sends. And wouldn't you know it, conveniently, he's able to avoid all but one torpedo, although it does hit midship for 50% of his life.
Problem solved, sir.
That would suggest to me that it was not the Fletcher who sent that torpedo. That would suggest that it was Japanese in origin. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. So, Halicon backs up, uses his radar, and ooh, looky there! Sneaky Benson and Minotaur. Well, work on the enemy that is presenting. Benson is the first target, so he's going to go after him. He's got HE loaded. Everything he's doing is just fine. He wants to get this guy dead as fast as possible so he can transition to the Minotaur, though. And he has a nice island that should block the Benson's torpedo effort. And there we go. Des Moines is so beautiful. It really is so gorgeous. Takes the target out. Enemy Minotaur completely stationary without smoke. Huge mistake. Dan, 871 hero. You gotta get in smoke, my friend. Anything and everything with AP is gonna punish that. And did he get the last shot in time to take the target out? It did look like he led him in reverse, so if this does hit, oh my god, are you kidding me? Minotaur's barely alive. I guarantee he's under 5,000 health. He's probably used his heal. Most of the damage he sustained, though, was AP and Citadel at that rate, so I don't really know how much he could heal back up. He's got to be so super low. And the Benson, before he died, left a nice smoke wall, which is going to prevent him from body spotting him. And he has to wait a minute on his radar. In fact, it will probably take Halicon so much time to detect the Minotaur that his radar will be back up by the time he gets past the smoke and into a position to punish that guy. But his team was able to capture B point. The enemy team is still in a standoff for C point. This is what it becomes. Everyone on Sleeping Giant always goes C point, and what you need to do is play to your strength. If it is C point, go C point. If it's B point, go B point. If it's A point, go A point. But don't get caught in this brutal one-on-one, let's all fight for C. And the Minotaur, he did heal a moderate amount. He's still broadside, though. And that's not going to help his cause. So Halicon leads him forward of his ship, aims for the Citadel, gets unlucky with some dispersion shots. Come on, kill this guy. He predicts the torpedoes. Doesn't rush towards the target like maybe a noob like me would. Pauses. He waves goodbye. That's a little cheeky there, Halicon. But the Minotaur deserved it. Was out in the open and 2 broadside. So, B point still our team, A point enemy team. He does have radar, but I assume he wants to use it when he has line of sight. And I would try and make my way over to A point to capture it. The enemy DD, the Hairy Wind, never actually went... Okay, well, as I state that, it becomes true that, oh, it's a Conqueror. Silly me. Who would think a DD would go after an objective? No. A great big battleship, and oh my god, is this for real? Point blank. Dude is taking massive damage, but he is going to get his torpedoes out. So he kills them, and oh, you have to avoid this. Was he really only successful in getting 1 set? Okay. Halicon, if you would have seen him 5 or 10 seconds later, probably would have had angle and sent torpedoes and sent you to the bottom. That was very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. But there's only 2 enemy DDs left. They're on the eastern flank. Looks like the enemy team did, in fact, win C point. The Conqueror is still over by B point. And he is full life, so that's great. I expect Halicon will drop his speed and fire from behind the island, and that would be exactly what... Yeah, that little bit of building, it is geometry, so treat it as such. You have to not just fire directly into it. It's not like the trees. The trees will not absorb the shells, but that building will definitely do it. I've fired into it multiple times too. Conqueror is out in the open. This is why Battleship players never push forward, because whenever they do, they are punished for it. It's really unfortunate for the Conqueror, because I do really appreciate his effort trying to go for B point, because his DDs weren't. If I was the Hairy Wind, I probably would have gone B. Instead of went to the western side. He saw that the Minotaur died. He knew that Halicon and his Des Moines was somewhere north of A point. And he was facing towards the western side of the map. So, you know, going out there blind was dangerous, and clearly it cost the DD. If he would have gone B point, maybe he can smoke out the Conqueror. Maybe they capture B point. That's one of those miscommunications that occur so often in random battle, and it's really simple if you take the time to analyze what you can do and realize that it's much better for you to use numbers in your favor and not try and get some crazy kill. Now, it was entertaining to see Halicon come around the island and take that guy out, and be so fortunate that he came around the island in that precise moment, because the enemy DD was not prepared at all. But he's firing on the Grosse Kurfürst, who is on fire, but it's only 1 fire. I would really like 2 fires. And he's going broadside, so maybe Halicon, yes, he does switch to AP. Good. And it does look like he elevated the gun a little bit to hit the AP on the top of the hull and the superstructure. German battleships are notorious for having heavily armored everything. Their bow, their sterns, they have extra armor that other battleships just don't have. So cruiser level of AP is gonna find a lot more bounce zones and ricochets and all that stuff. He's got to be careful. But they're hidden. They have C point. Something is capturing B point. It's got to be a destroyer. It's either the Yugamo or the Yuyang? Is that how you pronounce it? One of the 2 is there. He has radar, and it looks like... Is he going to pull a Notser? This would just make this an ace game. Oh, yes. There we go. Oh. It was a fail Notser, too. It was one of those that just... You just feel awful because you're just wasting so much time. And it was a Gearing. Sorry, it was a Gearing who was capturing. There is no Yugamo. We've got a Gearing and the Tier 10 Pan Asian. But He's backing up, moving away from the island. Friendlies are dealing with the gearing. He has no shot whatsoever on the gearing. Shima's trying to do his best, but I would take the gearing 100% of the time in a scenario like this, and yeah. It was 2 versus 1, actually. It was not the gearing that killed him. It was the other American destroyer. It was the Pan Asian. So he is smoked up somewhere by B point. Kurosakua first. It's over at C point, broadside. Could potentially switch to AP, but if he gets a fire on the target, it's worth it. Definitely don't want to shatter on the gun. Gotta aim super. So we know last known position, 2 battleships at C point, 1 DD at B point. Friendly Republic is going toe-to-toe with the Kurosakua first. Not ideal. Ooh, bad timing. Radar spots out the enemy DD. Unfortunately, he is directly behind the island, and yeah, there's just no shot. Halakan is just too close to the island. Way too close. Yeah, it's basically going to be worn out by the time he can use it, and you know that's really unfortunate. Also, keep in mind that if he does show himself as he comes around this corner, the enemy could send torpedoes. These are deep water torpedoes. They will absolutely ruin your day. But Halakan can't really do much. He's got to try and reinforce his team. He's got to maintain at least the same amount of ships, because they're losing on the tick rate every single second that B point is the enemy's control. And the Conqueror is still hidden. So the Conqueror's found a spot either behind an island or something where he can fire on, I think, from the Yamato. Kurosakua first is going broad. Halakan is preparing AP on the broadside. Good, good, good. He should be able to punish with 6 to 10k, hopefully, if everything hits. Oh god, and there's the torpedoes! Wow. Wow, that was close. Friendly Republic takes out the enemy Kurosakua first. Enemy Conqueror. Of course the Conqueror's full life. You know, it's a ship that can heal super effectively. Why would it want to take any damage? Has the best concealment in class. But no. We gotta stay in the back and spam HE. That's what you're supposed to do. And oh, brutal Halakan. Brutal. This ship is so broken when it has its broadside of an enemy. The rate of fire, the damage per minute, it's just glorious. And oh, another set. Oh my god. So fortunate. He is so incredibly fortunate how close these are. But that basically means the enemy DD can't send torpedoes for another minute or so. And he definitely can't see him. We don't see situational awareness. Is the Republic going to ram him? That's probably the best option because, yeah, the Conqueror is firing HE at the superstructure. He could fire AP at the superstructure, but yeah, he takes out the target. Oh, man. He's got one more radar he can use. He is spotted by some radar system. So it is a DD that is using radar. That's very interesting. A Pan-Asian that's using radar. And his radar is completely wasted. He can't use it at all against the enemy DD. That same DD's radar will be dropping before Halakan's, and he should be able to freely fire on this guy for another 10 seconds. So he's got another fire. I'm going to assume System Rename has a lot of heals left, just based on what I'm seeing on his playstyle. So yeah, this could be really hairy. Really hairy. Enemy DD could potentially come around the corner. I think Halakan feels like he's going to be right there on the corner. But the DD is so low. The DD is under 3k. He's dead in one salvo from the Des Moines, if he were to do that. So I don't know that that's what he's going to do. He might try and gain distance to spot He has no idea that he's used up his radar. And the Conqueror just dies to fire. Okay. Interesting. Revenge, nice. So it's 1 versus 1. And there's 3 minutes left in the game. If the game remains in this position, I believe Halicon should be able to win it. 2 bases to 1. And all he has to do is get a little bit of damage on the enemy DD. I would try and put up maybe in between A and B, because the enemy DD could be super shifty and work his way over to A point, speed boost, I don't know. He also has access to radar, as we've seen. Don't know how many charges are left on the enemy's DD. But clearly we know that Halicon has no radar, so he doesn't want to get into that sort of situation. It's always really awkward with deep water torpedoes, though. If you think it's awkward playing against it, and you maybe don't play DDs or whatever, it's always incredibly awkward. The torpedoes are just so well detected, so well concealed from detection, that it becomes really bad. So we know the DD is out in the open somewhere. I would guess, since he just spotted him, he is coming around an island somewhere. And I'm going to guess that he's in the southern side of the map. And this island could be either the sort of the island that is just directly south of B, or he is trying to at least maybe get in position to keep B contested, maybe? I mean, it's really, really close. There's a minute left. I don't think he could ever get over to A point. But I definitely feel like he is attempting to stop this, and Halicon's team has access to Elm. Are you serious? Enemy DD enters the cap. Oh, we see him. Okay, so the enemy DD is on the other side of the island. And the capture points are neck and neck. They're ticking up probably a second apart. And oh man. I think Halicon has to kill him. If he doesn't kill him, I think it ends in a draw. And if he tries to go kill him, well, the body spot is absolutely scary. And oh, he can kind of see him, but the island is in the way. And he's so desperate to get any chip damage on him. And everyone's like, guys like, don't charge. I mean, it's so close. Oh, he gets the tip. He gets the tip. He sets him on fire. Of course, he's going to put it out. One more shot. One more shot. Island geometry. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Are you serious? Halicon, I am so sorry. The shells were absorbed by the island. And clearly, visually, you could see around the island, but gameplay-wise, you could not fire. And he misses out. Unfortunately, Halicon has a great game. And nothing to show for it. It ends in a draw. The super rare draw. But I really appreciate you sharing this with me, Halicon. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I was on the edge of my seat multiple times in this match. It was incredibly close. You played it outstandingly. Maybe in that position, you do get a little aggressive because of the angle of the enemy destroyer. And consider this. The travel time of the torpedoes, you could probably kill them before the torpedoes would even make contact with you. But, you know, hindsight 2020, you think you can fire over the island, and clearly, visually, it looks like it, but ultimately you couldn't. So, great game, Halicon. Thank you for sharing it. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll catch you next time.